Everybody, I'm Chris. I'm all set to count down this week's 40 most popular country songs in the nation as they're ranked by MediaBase 24/7 for the chart week of February 10th, 2024. Before I start counting down this week's biggest hits, let's take a look back at last week's top three. At number 3 was Different Round Here by Riley Green and Luke Combs. Number 2 was World on Fire by Nate Smith. And the number 1 song last week was the 5th number 1 hit by Chris Stapleton called White Horse. Now, will Chris be galloping at the top again this week? We'll find out 39 hits from now. First, we'll get started with the latest by Michael Ray and Megan Patrick. Their 12th week on the countdown, they slipped 2 spots to number 40 with Spirits and Demons. Slipping back 2 spots to 39, here's John Party and Luke Bryan with Cowboys and Plowboys. In their 5th week in the countdown, they climb 1 to number 38. Here's Parmalee with Gonna Love You. Slipping back 1 to number 37, it's Chris Young with Young Love and Saturday Nights. At number 36, as he slides back 1, it's Brian Martin with We Ride. Slipping back 1 to number 35 is Garth Brooks and Ronnie Dunn with Rodeo Man. In his 13th week in the countdown, he slips a spot to number 34. It's Dylan Carmichael with Drinking Problems. And here's the fastest climbing song of the week, up 7 notches to 33. It's Jelly Roll with his 4th top 40 hit called Halfway to Hell. Falling back 2 to 32 this week, here's Chase Matthew with Love You Again. And for a second week here at number 31, here's Jason Aldean with Let You Boys Be Country. In his 7th week in the countdown, he's up 2 to number 30, Bailey Zimmerman with Where It Ends. Slipping back 1 to number 29, here's Zach Bryan and Casey Musgraves with I Remember Everything. At number 28, falling back 1, here's Megan Maroney with I'm Not Pretty. Leaping 2 spots to 27, here's Sam Hunt with Outskirts. At number 26, slipping back a spot, here's Old Dominion with Megan Maroney with Can't Break Up Now. And heading up 1 to number 25, newcomer from Florida, Ashley Cook with Your Place. For a second week at number 24 and her 24th week in the countdown, it's Carrie Underwood with Out of That Truck. And for a second week here at number 23, it's Kenny Chesney with Take Her Home. Slopping back 1 to number 22, here's Carly Pearce with Chris Stapleton and We Don't Fight Anymore. And trading places with Carly and Chris, moving up 1 to number 21, here's Tyler Hubbard with Back Then, Right Now. In her 33rd week in the countdown, she spends the second week in a row at number 20. It's Gabby Barrett with Glory Days. Falling back 2 spots from 17 to 19 this week, it's Jordan Davis with Tucson Too Late. And falling back 3 spots from 15 to number 18 is Jackson Dean with Fearless, The Echo. Inching up 1 to number 17, here's Lainey Wilson with Wildflowers and Wild Horses. Leaping 3 spots to number 16 is Morgan Wallen with Eric Church with Man Made a Bar. At number 15, moving up 1, it's Scotty McCreery with Cabin a Solo. Holding steady for the 3rd week at number 14, it's Parker McCollum with Burn It Down. And for a 3rd week in a row here at number 13, it's Connor Smith with Creek Will Rise. Falling back 1 to number 12 is Chase Beckham with 23. And just a step away from the top 10, climbing 1 to number 11 is Thomas Rhett and Morgan Wallen with Mamaw's House. All right, leading off our top 10 for a second week, here's Kane Brown at number 10 with I Can Feel It. For a second week here at number 9, it's Hardy and Truck Bed. Here's a former number 1 holding position at number 8. Here's Jelly Roll and Lainey Wilson with Save Me. And the 7th ranked country song for a second week is by Luke Combs with Where the Wild Things Are. Last week's number 1 falls to number 6 this week. Chris Stapleton with White Horse. All right, for a second week in a row here at number 5 is Cody Johnson with The Painter. At number 4, dropping back 1, it's Riley Green and Luke Combs with Different Round Here. And trading places with Riley and Luke, climbing 1 to number 3, it's Warren Ziders with Pretty Little Poison. Well, here's a song that's recently spent 3 weeks at number 1, now spending a second week at number 2 on its way down. It's Nate Smith with World on Fire. And the new number 1 song in country music this week takes 45 weeks to get here and climbing 5 spots from number 6 to number 1 as he collects his 5th number 1 country hit. It's Chris Janson with All I Need Is You. Till next week, I'm Chris Godfrey. Thank you for listening.